Welcome back to In the Shadow. Today in the lab I have another quick tutorial about how to access your host once it's installed and has an IP. To do this, you will need the IP from your host console and a browser. Once you have the IP, sit down and open your favorite browser. Type in the IP address in the address bar and hit enter. This should take you to a screen that says it's not private due to an SSL certificate issue. Go ahead and go to the bottom, click Advanced, and then proceed to the IP of the host. Once you click Proceed, it will take you to the Getting Started page. We have two options from here on how to manage the ESXI. We have the Web GUI and the VSphere Client. ESXI 6.0 below can all use the VSphere Client. 6.0 also has the Web GUI, and I'll be covering that in another video. 6.5, however, is only accessible through the Web GUI. For now, I will be only going over the VSphere Client. Click Download VSphere Client for Windows. Wait for it to download, then run and install the VSphere Client. Once installed, start the application. Let me bring it into screen so you can see what it looks like. For the IP address, we'll be using the same one that we got used to access the Web GUI. Type in the IP address that you got earlier. Now, for the next two things, if you followed my previous guide on how to set up ESXI, you should know them. First being your username, which is always root on a fresh install of ESXI. Second one is the password you set, and had to make sure it was matching. Once that's all typed in, go ahead and click Login. After clicking Login, a pop-up will appear. Click Ignore. That pop-up is once again the SSL cert saying that it's untrusted. After logging in, you will be met with the Getting Started page of ESXI. A quick overview of all the tabs. The Summary tab is where you can go to actually see the CPU, memory usage, and also the specs of your machine. This is also the same area where it will tell you if there's any configuration issues, such as mine does right now at the top about its logs. The summary page can come in real handy when trying to determine some quick issues or some quick specifications from a host. After that, we have the Virtual Machines tab. When going to this will actually show you the virtual machines that are running on the specific host. The next tab after that is Resource Allocation, and this shows you the total resources that are being used on the machine, not only by the virtual machines, but by the host itself. The next one after that is one of my favorites, and that'd be the Performance tab. The Performance tab allows you to switch between different settings and allows you to see all the different types of performance on your machine. I'll go through some here. Some of my favorite things to look through in the performances are both power and network usage. I use iSCSI in my home lab, and it's really cool to look at the network usage and see iSCSI usage over the networks. I also like to see power due to the amount of machines I run, and it's really neat to see how much power each host is actually using. The next tab after that is the Configuration tab. This Configuration tab I'll go in more detail in another video. The tab after Configuration is Users. This is the users that have access to ESXI. Right now I have just the default users in. After that, you have the Events tab. The Events tab is actually where all the events that are happening on this machine or this host go on. You can go through here and look at this just as you would Event Viewer on Windows or any other type of applications where you're needing to look for event logs. The last and final tab is Permissions, and these are the permissions that each user is granted to the ESXI host. That brings this tutorial to an end. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the lab.